If you dive a dry suit or want to dive a dry suit, then chances are you're going to be diving with dry gloves as well. For the past 3 years, I have been using dry suits and dry gloves in water temperatures from 23 degrees Celsius all the way down to 1 degree Celsius. But I always had one problem with dry gloves. They never fit perfectly. So I got tired of wearing dry gloves that don't fit me perfectly, that get caught up in my bolt snaps, that get caught up in my fin straps, and that robbed me of dexterity, especially when I moved towards the side mount configuration from a back mount configuration. It became even more important for me to have my finger dexterity. So let me show you what I went through and what solutions did I come up with. I ended up buying about 7 pairs of gloves, and the first one was this one, and you can see this is about a 30 centimeter dry glove, and this is quite a classic version, so basically what you will find anywhere as the default dry glove. Usually you can get these for about 30 to actually 60 euros in European stores. Afterwards, I went for this glove, which is the same type but a shorter one. And later I understood that the shorter gloves are actually not a good option, at least for my dry glove system, which is the Ultima dry glove system. So I only go for the long ones, as you will see actually with all the rest. And what I did with the next ones was very simple. I went to my local department store, hardware store, and bought chemical cleaning gloves for a few euros that I could pick up. Unfortunately, this particular model was the biggest one, and it still barely fits my hand. This was an alternative of the same type, chemical glove. A little bit different liner. I don't know if you can see that, but a little bit different, and same problem, super tight. Maybe I'll use them when I clean the house for once. Then I accidentally bought this monster, which is also a kind of a classic dry glove option, but this one is way too big of a size. But to be honest, these usually are also bulky, and this is kind of the experience that you get. So also not an option. And then I actually saw a video from sidemounting.com talking about dry glove options for cold water diving. So for diving in conditions when you need a heated dry glove. And heated dry gloves, they're usually thick. So let me show you that this, you can see there's a lot of space. It's easy to put on. And on its own, it's a bit bulky, but it's very thin. So there's a lot of dexterity. I actually feel my fingers very, very well as compared to the classic, so to speak, latex gloves. But one thing that you can definitely argue is that the latex ones are more durable because they're thicker. At least they feel thicker. But the big benefit with these is that you can buy these much, much cheaper, right? So you can buy one of this for, let's say, 30 euros, or worst case scenario, you'll find it for 60 euros somewhere. I bought this pack for 45 euros. Unfortunately, I had to order it from the US. I did not find any option in Europe. Probably there is one, but I simply couldn't find one. So less than 4 euros per pair. So this is 10 times cheaper than this. And then another alternative is a very popular option as well, which is the Kubi dry glove system. And you can see that in these, dexterity is also very good. There is space. This is the biggest size that I could find. So extra large. All right, so I have all of these options. What did I choose as the final option for me? All right, so for warm water diving, I chose the Kubi dry glove. And this is something that I'm using now in the summer here in the local quarries when the waters are 16 degrees or above. For cold waters, I ended up using the Showa glove. Showa glove, I will actually also put a thick inner glove. So I will anyways take up the extra space. Let me show you how it looks actually with the extra inner glove. So usually I put on a pair of like these ones are fourth element, zero therm, but honestly you can buy any gloves that suit you. And these are just simple department store gloves. So now I am warm enough for cold water diving for about 45-50 minutes. After that, I usually get very, very cold. So I suggest going for heated dry gloves, which I don't have. So you can see that dexterity is still there. and I feel my fingertips pretty well. And let me try operating a bolt snap. So the reason why I chose this glove for cold water diving is because first, it's cheap, much cheaper, as I said, than the regular latex gloves, right? So I can get a pair for about 40 euros, if not even less. I can buy much easier in bulk, right? So it's much easier to get a lot of pairs as opposed to this. So usually I'm not going to buy 10 of these latex gloves for 40 euros. So I'm going to buy one, maybe 2 pairs. Of course, that's me. Maybe you do differently, but I buy like 1 or 2 because I'm stingy. And then if they break, then I have either 1 or none left as a spare. So with these, I don't have that problem. And I know that with these, I have the ability to add these Santi dry gloves when I buy them, which I think inevitably will happen because I do love to do ice diving. Kubi dry glove system. So this is for warm water. So honestly, I don't need this fleece liner. I actually, but let me show you actually that I can still put it in, and I have perfect dexterity. So I actually can wear this Kubi dry glove system with in colder waters. I can. Usually what I do with the Kubi dry glove system, not dry glove system, sorry, but dry glove, I take this kind of silk, very thin silk inner glove, and I use that as my inner glove. So it's very thin, as you can see, but it adds enough protection that I need. And I have all the perfect dexterity. So these are my choices. For warmer waters, I take Kubi dry gloves, but again, you can also use it for colder waters, definitely. And then for very cold waters, I tend to go for the Showa gloves now. Of course, it's perfectly normal to use the classic latex gloves and also other models that you might have. So let me know in the comments actually what type of dry gloves you enjoy using, right? Because again, I'm not saying that this is the only solution or the best solution. This is just something that I came up with.
Thank you so much for taking the time and hanging out with me. I really appreciate that. And I agree, this video is not exhaustive. A lot more can be added or clarified and nuanced. So please, if you see anything that I made a mistake about, or just want to add some extra interesting information, please let us know in the comments. We're all here to learn and have fun together. If you like the content, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. This really helps me out. And until I see you next time, have a great rest of the day.